Now you guys, let's go ahead and get creative. Let's play a little bit, okay? Where's, Bobby, can I get my entire gear, please? All my flashes, all my gear. We're just gonna rock it right now. Please. You can sit on the edge of this. Look at you with a freaking awesome hat. Look at you guys. It's like, okay. Let's see. Hans, why don't you sit in the middle? You see how her knees, this is not a posing class, but here I go, you know, my head can't stop. Okay, you see how her knees are this way? So you want to do her knees the opposite way, okay? So go ahead and take a seat there. The reason why she's not at the top is because we don't want to make it too cliche, like top, top, middle. It's like, ooh, how did you come up with that? You know what I'm saying? So you want to keep it, you want to grab the order and destroy it. Make it order and then destroy it, okay? Okay, we have Alana's closest to the light source. But then we have her blocking, completely blocking the light on Hans. And then we have Katie on her own, not being illuminated at all. And not only that, not only is she being blocked by two people now, she's also the farthest from the light. So before you even turn on the first flash, you're already in trouble. You're already in big trouble. See, where are all my speed lights? Right here? You do? Beautiful. Can I get another softbox set up, like the smaller one? This one over here. Let's put it by Katie. Now you see these hats and stuff? Doesn't that remind you of like a New Orleans kind of bohemian kind of feel to it? So why don't we just totally rock that and totally change the room into a very New Orleans kind of like Mardi Gras style thing. And we keep it totally chilled and cool. So the lighting on them will be beautiful, but the lighting in the background will be very moody. You guys good? Okay. So isn't that fun? Isn't this just like funner than heck? Like you can just totally rock it, you know? So let me put that flash. Let me turn it on here. So this sucker, first of all, is backwards. So we're gonna make sure it's not backwards. That would be helpful. We're gonna put this on slave. And did you grab this flash from, is this a new one?
That was a new one, yeah.
The A is still on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have A there. A on that softbox. We're gonna put this one. We're gonna put this one on B. We're gonna put this one on C. Now for you guys watching on the internet, it's not scary. I'm only keeping everything to channel 1. If you're in a situation where you have lots of channels and cell phones and things going on, you can change the frequency to channel 2. So, but let's not waste time on that. So channel 1, group A, group B, C, D, E. And you can put multiple flashes per group. So I can grab my triple threat. That sounds so cool. It's like, triple threat, baby. Get out of here. I got the triple threat. I can put triple threat, and I can gang all my flashes together. Like it's totally like geeking it out. Like the ladies love it.
Roberto,
like
I was just about to say he's geeking out now,
yeah.
everyone.
Like when Katie sees me doing this, she's just like, wow, I want to date that guy. Nothing to be said, people. It's all right here. it's over. Okay. Actually, this is a 580EX2, so I'm going to get rid of that. I don't even know whose this is. Is this mine? Can I get another 600? It's right there. No, there's more. All right, so I'm going to put, this is A. This will be my master. So this will be, I don't know who came up with masters and slaves. Like, that's like really weird. What's that?
Yeah, we got 3,600 and 1,580.
Is that right? Cool. So the whole bohemian look and all of that is kind of going out the window very quickly, but we can still try. So let's see. I'm gonna put, this is gonna be A, this is going to be B. Can we put that flash from there? Put it here, please, Bobby. And then I'm gonna put this group, and I'm gonna put it in C.
Roberta, couldn't you use the 580 and just put it on manual and have the slave pop it to whatever?
No, because I'm not using optical transmission, I'm using radio transmission, and they're not backwards compatible. And I don't have enough Pocket Wizards to do it all manual, so we have to do it this way. So the 580 doesn't work. Canon is very smart. They made it non-backwards compatible, so you have to buy everything again. So it's beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna put a gel on this using our Rogue gel stuff. Okie dokie. We don't have, I'm gonna pull out this stuff. Look at all this stuff from Rogue. This guy. So,
What is that guy?
this is just a gel pack. If you really want to attract the ladies, like when you're at work, bust out this dude. You see this little guy? Look, would you put your flash there? And then you put this crazy thing and you walk around like that. You don't have to say a word. Like, everybody would just be like, what's your number now?
So it's like having a puppy, kind of?
What's that?
It's like having a puppy?
Oh, this puts a puppy in a hole. Like, puppy will not even, they will kick the puppy compared to this. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this here, up very quickly, put some gels here, grab the little rubber band that's in here. Rubber band is to hold the filter in place, okay? That filter goes around here. Now, we don't have enough flashes for this setup, but we're still gonna have fun with it, okay? And we're gonna use science and our knowledge of light to start correcting all the problems until we have the most awesome picture using limited flashes, okay? We're gonna turn this into a bohemian look. So, I don't like the white wall. What color do you guys want the wall to be? Maybe like a brownish or something? You want it pink? Okay, yeah, pink.
Are you gonna leave the stuff in?
We're gonna do what we can with the.
Are we gonna leave the props in?
We're gonna what?
The props?
Yeah, we're gonna leave it.
Yeah, maybe. The couch is blue.
You guys like it dark
Teal.
orange? Oh my gosh, let's totally rock the orange. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you realize that when you put something in front of your flash, the science of flash gets activated, which means your flash is now traveling through, it's transmitting the light through here. So you're losing power, okay? Hey, Bobby, would you mind putting this here, man? I need to set up something else, but here you go. And there's another one that, this is not very inside. That's right. Okay, beautiful. What's in this softbox?
Get the unity before you put in there.
Okay, very nice. And what's in this one? This is channel A.
Double check though, yeah. It's been a while.
Can you put that flash inside this box?
Sure.
It should be A. Okay, the reason why I had him change the lights is because I want that orange light to be illuminating most of the wall. So I needed the light source to be bigger. Had I just put the flash by itself and I illuminated the wall, part of it would be illuminated, part of it will not. Okay, so we're gonna just make the light source bigger, and we're gonna be able to make that wall pretty orange now, okay? So I'm doing the job of 3 speed lights with just one, just by putting that light in the biggest diffuser I have. Good? If you don't have all the tools you need, you actually do. You just have to be more creative with it. All right, for Katie, she's totally gonna be dark. This is not gonna work for her. So we need to change the light. Because I only have one light left, the small light box, and we know the inverse square law, and we know that light travels in a vacuum, and we know that light picks up whatever color it hits, what is the best option to light up all three with only one light source? Because we only have one light left. What's that?
Lighting directly from the front.
It doesn't matter if, okay, yeah, but that's too direct. What else?
Further away.
Further away. Further away, yeah. I'm gonna put this sucker here. This is going to illuminate Katie. Now, we only have one light source, so we're gonna stagger them so they all get hit by light. You're thinking, this is the mentality, man. This is the thought process. So, hands, I need you to take one step forward. Katie, go as far back and just chill your back against that, and just be chilled, like, yeah, look at you. You need to be in between them. There, your head has to be in between this so the light hits you. You see what I'm saying? Yep. Let me see what you look like. Beautiful. Is this already done? Yeah. No, we'll keep it. Oh. What's this doing here? This is a 600.
That's one of the ones.
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, this is B. So what's in here?
That's the one that goes A, B is what you gave. That's what you said.
Oh. Okay, this is C, which is what we want.
And
That's
that's B.
B?
Is that right?
Now we need a main light. Oh, we don't have a main light. So we use the big wall. That is the diffuser. That's the main light, okay? So somebody just holds it and points it at that huge softbox. You see what I'm saying? Oh, but then it's gonna spill light into my background. Here, let's try. This is B. Okay, B is a 164. Yeah, give me that. 50 millimeter, would you please? The 50 prime is right here, right there. Take this one. And I may need the 35 actually, but let me see if this works. Okay.
Roberto, can we move the lamp behind Hans's head?
Can we do what?
Move that red lamp from behind Hans's head.
Yes. Okay, guys. The main light, I usually put it on group A. The fill light, I usually put it in group B. And it's usually about 50% of the light output as group A. And group C can be whatever you need it to be to illuminate that background. And that's going to be on group C because it's the background light. So our huge light here is going to be our background light. So that's C. That's going to be our B. And the one that's pointing towards that is going to be our A. Okay? So it's going to be our main light. Okay. I'm going to go to my flash settings, make sure that they're all flash function settings, they're all going to be on manual. I have group C now, is going to be on manual. And which one's C? The background light. Yeah. All we're doing is changing the room to a very orangey feel without changing the white balance on them. They're being illuminated by 5200K. The wall's being illuminated by a much more tungsten light source, okay? If we had another light, I would put another one in that direction and make it all red. Okay, so,
Roberto, both of the flashes are facing the kickback?
excuse me?
Both of the flashes are facing the kickback in the soft boxes?
They're facing
Okay.
straight on, I think. That's a good question. Let me see. Oh, you do? Yeah. So they're facing the reflective, yeah.
Okay.
All right, this is going this way. Boom. This is not going to fire. 64th. C is 1/4. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, let's remove my water bottle, man. Thanks. Quick test. Bam, fire. Let's see. Oh, man, that's gorgeous. Just look at the photo there. Pretty cool, right? Every single person is illuminated beautifully. Every single person is. Now, let's see if we have any, do you see any problems we can try to fix? Were you pointing that flash towards the wall, right? That's perfect. Do you guys see any problems?
The
I think the
background
upper
is
right-hand
really
area
blown
is
out.
pretty blown out. Is a way to tone that down a little bit.
Okay, beautiful. So we're gonna, that's flash C. So we're gonna go to external speed light control, flash function settings, and we're going to turn down C to 1/32. Because I did that, I'm going to yeah, that should work. So flash, the other one is too overpowering. The light that's coming out of Bobby's flash is A, and I think that's too powerful. This is B. B. So we're gonna go to B, and we're going to bring it down to 128. Sounds good? That's B. That was B. Are you sure this is B? Let's put this one in A then. Group A. Okay. So now group A, flash function settings, we're going to go to group A. We're going to bring it down to 1/64th, so you can bounce that off. Now, what's going to give you more softer light, the whiteboard or the wall? The wall, because of the nature of the way light behaves, because of it's going to reflect and the sun is going to absorb some, it's going to bounce some, okay? Let's try this one more time. Yeah, it's just a quick shot. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I think we have a pretty good fix on Alana's side with the lows, but now we're too dark on Katie there. Pretty cool. Now, I feel like I want to make this more like reddish or whatever. Like, I feel like it's starting to go, but it's just not quite there yet. So why don't we bust out this one? Now we're going to create a problem, but we're going to fix it. So we're going to put red light on that wall. We're going to lose one flash. But because we know the science of light, we're going to be able to fix it with no problem. Okay? So, see, I know there's a red somewhere in there, man, but red. And look what it says, f-stop loss, 3.5. Okay? So, here you go, Bobby. Can we put this on that one, please?
Roberto, a couple people want to know, how do you make the master not fire?
Oh, that's important because if that fires, it ruins your whole mood if you have what you want. There's a button there. If you have the 600 EX RT flash, if you go to menu 1, there's a option that says you want the master to fire or not to fire. If you put it to not fire, the flash goes from being a speed light to just being a transmitter. If you say fire, then it's going to be a transmitter and a speed light, okay? In this case, because we're losing one light to the background, we're going to have to get really creative with light, which is no problem because we know how light works, you see? So no problem at all, right, Katie? You're not worried, right? You look very not worried right now, which is good. You feel that you have faith, you know?
So Roberto, is your idea to take that B light off of Katie and use it on the background?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna have to get very creative with how I bounce the light off the walls to get, or off a, watch, you'll see. Because the thing is, it really comes down to the behavior of light. And once you see what we're gonna do, you'll see how it all kind of comes together for awesome creativity. Now, right now we're just messing around. At a real job, you would have an idea, draw it out, set it up, and then tell your clients to come in, okay? So. No problem. Any more questions from you guys? You guys want to discuss a little bit while we wait for that softbox?
Let's look at the internet and see what they have to say.
After this, I'm gonna go over my slideshow, and I have to stay here. I'll go over to my slideshow, and I want to show you guys some thought process photos that I took for the last part of the workshop, so you can get an idea of how the thought process works and how fast you do it. Is it ready? Thank you, Bobby. Can we turn that to point towards that wall? So we need to make that taller and point it down. Just there, yeah. Well, that was like 1 inch higher. That's okay. There we go.
So while he's doing that, Roberto,
So we need
sorry.
we need to figure out, we lost 2 flashes, we're gonna lose that one. This one, we're gonna actually turn that one to illuminate. We're gonna need a couple of more people to help. Let's see, one more person to help. Where's the reflector? Right here? That wall is too far away, so that light source, if I was to bounce light to that light source, it's so far away, it's going to shine all that light and spill it all over the wall, and it's going to ruin a red and orange. But if I point the flash towards this light source, it's a lot closer, and I can control it. Does that make sense? So we're not doing this anymore, we're doing this, okay? This will take care of it. So, all right, Bobby, that's good, man. Let's go here, and let's point this right at here. And then we're gonna point it, see, we have to be careful here. So we want that going on there. This flash will illuminate Hans and Alana. And then we have nothing for Katie. So the next one is we're going to bounce this. We're gonna turn it to the left to bounce against, what was your name, Ayn? To bounce against Alex's face. And it's going to hit Katie, okay? You know what? Let's put that on Alex. There, or can somebody hold this? I want you to point this right at Katie. Okay. Flash comes on. I am gonna have this fire now. I am going to zoom the head to not spread the light so often. I'm gonna zoom it to 135 or 105. All right, ready, guys? What's the number on that group?
Group A is at 128.
And this was group what? This one inside there?
That one side there should be, oh man.
It's okay.
I think it's C in there.
It's B?
D?
Remember we lost 3 stops, almost 3 stops of light? So we're going to bring that we're gonna flash function, we're gonna make that a little brighter. So we say B or C?
That one?
Yeah. This one is B, right? Okay, and I'm actually gonna zoom this to 200 millimeters to hit that, and then that's gonna hit Katie. All of that just for Katie. See, Katie, how special you are? See? What's that? Yeah, just point it right. This has to go boom, and it's gonna go boom. And then we have, Rolanda looks good there. And hopefully, if this works, we should have some pretty cool. Everything okay? Did it flash?
Yeah, it did, but it's not.
I'm gonna go higher on that. This way? Yeah. This way? Yeah. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, bam. Oh yeah, take a look at this. This is not the right one. Look at the next one. See, it starts to look pretty vintage. Yeah. Okay, now watch this, guys. Let's turn this off. Watch this. This is the difference between knowing what's up and, oh. Okay, let's go ahead and just show that. Let's compare the two. Whoa. Let's compare, look at that. Now let's go to TTL on this flash, turn off everything, add 0, and it's going to just give you a right exposure, flat. There will be nothing special about it, even though you're all special, you guys. But the lighting is just, let's put that one, not, yeah. Okay, and then let's compare it to the vintage one. Not the last one, not the second to last, but the third to last. Yeah, that one. I can assure you, with some editing and all that, that photo on the left can be very, very, very beautiful, very vintagey looking. It's very nice. Look at the balance of the orange and the red on Katie, but look at the light, it's hitting them pretty well balanced. Had I not had that be red, she would be pure red, right? You want to do it without? Sure. So we have master again. I changed a lot of my settings, but we'll try that. Master, is that light green? Yep. And what did I say? Because of that white is not there anymore, that red spilled all over her. And look at the difference. Pretty incredible how predictable it was, right? That red light spilled all over Katie because we didn't have that whiteboard. That whiteboard is what saved her color balance because photons pick up the light that they hit. So yeah, it's hard to understand all that, but it's worth the time to, can we put that one and compare it to the other one that, let's compare the other one that looked vintagey. Right there, yeah. Yeah, that one. What do you guys think? Pretty predictable, right? Without the white card, you bounced red light on Katie. Any questions on that, you guys?
Oh, go ahead.
Where's the remote for the thing?
Just a review question, Roberto, from Esme Matthews. I know you're talking about the gels, and how do you compensate for the stops you lose? You just power up, power?
Yeah, I did
Flash
compensate. I changed it from 128 to 132
Okay.
because of the 3 stops loss.
And is that the only way that you would compensate for
You
the
do
gels?
have to do it that way because
Okay.
if you bring down your ISO, if you bring up the ISO, it will be a universal change.
Thank you.
Because we're trying to control one light at a time, we need to make alone changes that are alone, separated by themselves. Okay.
Roberto,
Thanks
can
for
you
the
just,
clarification.
oh yeah, and just to kind of summarize this section, could you For Steve S., summarize the setup again, just kind of go through.
Yeah. If you look at the original photo that I took with my TTL flash, you can see it was just flat and ugly. There was nothing special about it. We brought the vintage out of this photo. This looks very vintagey, so we just painted it with better light to complement that vintage feel. It took a little bit of thinking. For example, the wall had to be done with a bigger light source to illuminate it more evenly, instead of just a single speed light. You saw what I did with the single speed light when I was photographing Hans and Katie by themselves. It was just a little tiny beam. Remember that? So to illuminate the wall, we needed to have a bigger space. I also needed to put the lights farther away from that wall because of the inverse square law. I knew that if I separated that light from that wall, more of that light would be lit evenly. Had I put that light inches from that wall, then the first 5 inches from that wall will be red, and then the rest would not be. It would just kind of go back to white because of the fall off. I put my main light in group A, my fill light in group B, and my background light in group C. In this case, I have 2 background lights. And I decided to use my master flash as an actual firing device, and we used Sarah, and we used a whiteboard to basically have those photons pick up that white and give Katie a nice, good look to her instead of a red look, which is nothing wrong with that. It's just not what we were going for, okay? All the changes that we made were localized changes. If we would have changed our aperture, our shutter speed, or our aperture or our ISO or our distance, the picture would have been quite different. So, Susan, if I want to show something on my computer, but it's not on my Keynote, how can I do that?
We'll find out for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll get that arranged.
I just want to finish with something because I know a lot of people had questions about reception lighting with speed lights, and I want to go over some of that before I leave.
Okay.
But yeah, let's take that picture real quick. I'm going to change my ISO from 1250 to 400, and it's going to be a universal change. It will all be down. Okay? Look at this. So we basically just have, it just looks darker overall. Here's another one real quick. Change it to F16. And you can see because I changed the aperture and it's manual, the light didn't make it. So if we click on the last photo, these are universal changes. You see all the lights changed instead of individual ones. Okay. Okay, let's see.
So,
Can I do
Roberto?
it? You can't do it?
We're not going to be able to arrange
Totally
that.
okay. Totally okay. Okay. Do we have time for another creative shot? Or
We
should
have 10 minutes.
questions? We have 10 minutes? That's it?
What do you want to do?
You guys want to see what happens if you put the background flash in TTL? If you do that, it's just going to expose for normal, and it could throw off that color. Or why don't we add a separation light on Alana? Sounds good. Let's try that. So we can make the light be a separation light instead of a background light, okay? So, see, where's that flash, the lone one by itself? Okay, this one's group A. Okay, let's put that right behind Alana. And can you just kind of like hide in the background? It's okay, no. We're gonna go right behind Alana, picture of faith. Okay, let's see here. Highlight, external speed light control, flash function settings. That was A, right? I'm gonna turn A into TTL, but leave the other ones in manual, okay? It should work pretty well. Let me see what's her back look like. She's got some white skin with a black dress. That's gonna average it out. If she had a full black dress, that probably would not work, okay? Could I see that? I'll just borrow it. Alana should be pretty cool lit with her background light. And it did work well because of her combination of outfit. Take a look at that. Now, do you see how there's a little too much ambient light going on in the back? I'm gonna change my shutter speed to make the ambient darker. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what would you do to make the orange and red more intense?
I'm gonna lower my shutter speed, and it should do some cool stuff. So my shutter speed went from 90 to 180. And now we fixed it, but it's a little too dark. See that? Now let's put that light on Alana, and let's make it a lot brighter. So that's A, right? Yep. Flash function settings. By the way, this is what I do with my mannequins. You just start and you write it down. So group A is going into manual flash, and I'm going to put that at full power. Watch what happens. Okay, can you point that down towards her dress more? Like instead of, like from the bottom, from underneath? And just kind of, yeah. And hide it from the view. There you go. What's that? Just towards like where her dress meets her skin. 1, 2, 3. Oops, a little too crazy. Let's bring it closer to her. To her, like almost touching her. There you go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And it's like that flash by itself is like overpowering everything. So, universal changes. 1, 2, 3. And see, just changing the ISO and changing the aperture, you start to really change the way the photo looks without having to change the flash output too much. So you have all those options. You see how that those other flashes are not really doing anything anymore? It's because the other light is reflecting that white light from Alana's back all the way into the wall. That's firing, right? Yeah? Let's point it, we go up and put it right behind her head. I'm gonna lower that power just by a little bit, flash function settings. I'm gonna go to A and I'm gonna go to 1/4, 1/4 power. And now you can really see the separation light. Except now we have hands in total darkness, so but here looks mysterious. You see that? And some of the light is actually spilling into Katie there. So anyway, let's take some questions, I guess, and then we'll go from there. We took a lot of cool photos of all of you guys. We tried to make this into a vintage situation using our speedlights. We didn't have enough speedlights, but we still kind of made it work. And we've gone over a lot today, starting from light and the science behind it, to some understandings of what the flash and how it works with the groups, with wireless setups, with we really went over TTL and manual, and we really went over how, for manual, you have to keep track of 4 things that can change your flash output. One is your exposure, one is your aperture, one is your shutter speed, one is your ISO, and I'm sorry, not your ISO, your shutter speed, aperture, ISO, distance, and the power from your flash. We also talked about how when light hits an object, that photon of light has 3 options. Option A, the light will transmit through the object. giving you like a distorted version of whatever it was. Option B, that photon can be absorbed by that material, like styrofoam, which is why people like Sue like it, because it gives you that super soft light. Option C, it can be completely reflected, and that's the ultimate reflection is a mirror, and the opposite of that would be black velvet. It would be like, we'll just suck it all out. We used a black flag for Hans to craft his cheeks and make it look like a real heavy-duty studio portrait, but it was just taken with one speed light on your camera and a lot of knowledge of light, right? And then we went over single flash setups and the different possibilities you can do with TTL. Then we did single flash with manual. Then we did 2 flashes with Hans and Katie up here in the wall. 2 flash setup, one for the background, one for them. We exposed Hans with split lighting. We put a reflector as fill to not make it look too split, and we pointed the light towards Katie to fill up her face with light. That was the James Bond picture. Then we added a background red light to kind of contrast with the gray background and give it that volume and that depth, okay? Third and last, we did multiple light setups, 3, 4 speed lights at the same time, all on manual, and we controlled each speed light individually. And we also, at the end, demonstrated how ISO changes can make universal changes. And then finally, I put the flash on TTL. I pointed it straight at them, and it flattened the whole picture, totally ruining it, which is why TTL sucks, unless you need speed. So remember this, if you need speed and reliability, TTL is your friend. If you need control and creativity, manual is going to be your friend. It's going to be your go-to. There's a heck of a lot more to go on Flash, but that's why you have 5 days of lighting week. 5 days or 4 days?
5 days.
5 days of lighting week. I encourage you guys to get yourself a mannequin. I'm not joking. And buy it on the internet. You can have it shipped. Costs you like $200, the best $200 you'll ever spend. Put it on your house. Buy some of these gels from Rogue and start writing down everything you can do, changes. Maybe get a male and a female and really just rock it. Remember that if you do all this and you do not write it down on a notepad, you're basically going to forget in about 3 to 4 days, okay? Write it down with your hand, not with a computer, with your hand. And then when you do a practice session, don't practice everything in one session, one thing at a time. So one session can be, I'm going to practice one light setup. That picture of Hans that we took when he was sitting on the couch turned out really nice because I've done this a million times with a mannequin. It's not because I was special. It's not because I'm a genius. It's just because I have a mannequin and I use it. And that's it.